Hey there, and welcome back to Terror Appreciation Tuesday, the series where I celebrate all things horror. The films, the books, the writers, the actors, the directors, the sound design, and the creative craft that makes this genre so powerful. For today's spotlight, this movie is one of the most influential horror films ever made, John Carpenter's Halloween. This isn't just a slasher, it's a masterclass in restraint, atmosphere, and fear by suggestion. A film that changed how horror is made, watched, and remembered. Michael Myers is terrifying not because of what he does, but because of what he is. Carpenter didn't create a villain with motivation, psychology, or a tragic monologue. He created the shape. Michael doesn't run, he doesn't explain, he doesn't react. He watches, he waits, and then he moves when it's already too late. By stripping Michael of personality, Carpenter turns him into a force, something closer to folklore than a character. He's the boogeyman. He is the thing you were afraid of as a child, now grown up and real. One of Halloween's greatest achievements is how often Michael is already in the frame. He stands behind Laurie without her knowing. He watches from between hedges. He lingers in doorways, and he blends into the background. Carpenter understood something crucial. Anticipation is scarier than surprise. The audience sees Michael before the characters do, creating this dramatic irony and constant tension. You're screaming internally while the characters remain completely unaware. This is clean, elegant visual storytelling, horror that trusts the audience to see. Now, let's talk about that score. John Carpenter's iconic synth theme is one of the most recognizable pieces of music in cinema history, and it's deceptively simple. It doesn't overwhelm the film. It doesn't play constantly. It punctuates. The music tells you when danger is near and when the silence itself is dangerous. The absence of sound is just as important as the presence of it. Breathing, footsteps, wind. Halloween proves that sound design can be just as lethal as any knife. Now, let's talk about Jamie Lee Curtis, because she didn't just star in Halloween. She helped redefine horror protagonists. Laurie Strode isn't fearless. She's observant. She notices what others dismiss. She reacts. She adapts. She survives not because she's pure or perfect, but because she's alert. This performance helped establish the blueprint for the final girl, the character archetype that would dominate horror for decades, evolving alongside the genre itself. Laurie feels real, and that realism makes the danger feel closer. Now, from a writing perspective, Halloween is incredibly disciplined. The script is lean, scenes exist for a reason, and setups pay off. Early shots of Michael watching children, casual dialogue about babysitting, long walks home. Everything builds normalcy so that when it's disrupted, it really hurts. This is horror rooted in structure, not spectacle. Carpenter and Deborah Hill understood that fear works best when it grows slowly and never fully resolves. It was shot on a small budget, and it went on to reshape horror forever. It influenced slashers, home invasion films, stalk and slash narratives, even modern elevated horror. Its DNA is everywhere. But what's most impressive is that Halloween still works today, not because of nostalgia, but because it understands something timeless. Fear lives in the unknown. Fear lives in the background. Fear lives in what refuses to explain itself. And maybe that's why Halloween endures. Not because of sequels, not because of the mask, not even because of the body count. It endures because it understands something fundamental about fear. That the most terrifying thing isn't what rushes at us, it's what waits. Michael Myers doesn't chase the audience out of the theater. He follows them home, into the dark hallway, into the quiet bedroom, into the moment when the house finally settles, and you realize you're alone with your thoughts. That's not just a movie monster. That is horror doing exactly what it's supposed to do. If you like taking a peek behind the scenes, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And if you're a writer looking to improve your horror craft, I share writing tips, folklore breakdowns, and scene structure advice over on Substack inside the writer's room. You can find my link tree in the bio. Now, until next time, the boogeyman doesn't knock. He waits.